What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to teach you how to tune a traditional coil machine. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do a liner. There's going to be two separate videos on a liner and a shader. So I'm going to be making two separate videos on those just so you can watch them and learn how to tune your liner or your shader. In this video, I'm going to work on the actual liner. Now, it's been probably 7 years since I've even tuned a traditional tattoo machine, but it's one of those things that once you've done it once, and you have gotten efficiently in tuning a machine correctly, it doesn't really leave you. You could pretty much do it for the rest of your life. Now, this video isn't going to be teaching you how to become a machine builder or anything like that. I'm going to teach you the basics on how to tune your machine so you can have it running efficiently, because I've had a couple of you guys reach out wanting to know exactly how to do it. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into tuning a traditional style machine, or a coil style machine, depending on what you say. I know someone commented on a video saying, why do I call it a traditional style machine? And I honestly couldn't tell you where I picked that up. That could just be my brain just telling me it is something else, because I can't remember, but that's what I call it. But they are coil style machines. So the first thing I want to point out when it comes to these machines is explaining what all the parts are. So I'll break down everything for you guys. Okay, so let's start out first with the contact screw. That's this little screw right here. What this does is touch the front spring right here. So when it goes in for its cycle, it'll go up and push the needle forward and then come back and hit that contact spring. So from there, you'll see the amateur bar pin right here. Obviously this is the amateur bar right here, your coils, obviously where you hook your clip cord up to. If you are a super beginner, your clip cord will hook up right there. Yeah, there'll be a capacitor that's not usually visible. Sometimes you'll be able to see it on cheaper style machines. Let's see if you can see it on my cheap shader. Yeah, it'll be right here on this machine. And then there'll be a back spring right here. As you can barely see, it'll be tucked back there. Then the back spring mounting screws, and obviously the frame, the tube, the tip, and the needle. And you'll also need rubber bands. Rubber bands are super important. I don't necessarily like to get the ones from like a dollar store. I did that whenever I first started out, and it just doesn't really work out that well. So I definitely recommend getting some rubber bands specifically made for tattooing. They're the right elasticity, but it holds down the needle really well. And another key point is you don't want to put more than one on here. If you put too many, it'll bog down your machine and just cause issues with everything running correctly. So just use one. It's all you really need to keep the needle down and where it should be. So from there, let's say you first got this machine, and there's a couple things I want to touch base on when it comes to getting a machine. Now, I bought this machine for my daughter. She's very young now, but eventually, hopefully, she'll grow up and want to tattoo. If not, she could hang it on the wall. But I recommend getting a machine from a reputable company, someone that knows what they're doing to build machines. I got this machine through Wormhole and did a review. This is a shader. It's just not able to be tuned correctly. In this video, I'm going to break down how to tune a machine, the very basics, so you could get up, run a machine. I'm not going to teach you how to be a machine builder. I'm sure I'll go in depth about the hertz, duty, cycles per second, all sorts of stuff on another video. This is just getting you set up to tattoo and not have to know everything that took me a year in my apprenticeship to learn. But first, right off the bat, you could tell that they've skipped corners with this machine building. So you can see right here that this is plastic. So this is always going to become loose right here, which is what holds your contact screw in place so it doesn't, move around. So if this is loose, it's just going to back off. It's not going to stay on how it needs to. And this one, you could see that it's a little Allen key right there, and it's just perfectly in there. So it's made really well. It's going to be perfect. So I really like this machine a lot. I've used it a few times, but it should be set up pretty well. So when it comes to tuning your machine for tattooing, the first thing you want to check on is the spacing from your contact screw to your spring. So I have it set up for lining, so it's going to be about a dime's length from the screw to that spring right there. That's how you want to set it up for lining. And obviously there's a ton that goes into it with your different coils. There could be 8 wrap, 10 wrap, 12 wrap coils, all sorts of crazy stuff to get into, which I'll break down in another video for you. But with this, now that we have that set up, if you don't have this set up correctly, what you want to do is you're going to loosen that screw right here. It's a little bit easier to show you on this one. You'll loosen this right here and you'll be able to move this in and out to be able to get that correct kind of spacing with that, so your machine will hit appropriately. Now, with that being said, the next step you're going to do is start out your machine on a very low voltage. You want to go up to the point to where it actually starts to buzz. So we're going to start it at, let's say, 3. So you can see that it's running, but it's not going to be hitting, right? So we're going to up it. Sounds a little bit better, but we're going to keep going up. Right there. So it's running at about a 5 right now, and you could hear that it is hitting exactly how it should. I'm going to turn this off so you can hear me. So we just started off super low and went up on voltage until it started to hit. Now from here, it'll kind of depend on your hand speed. I move really fast, so I'm going to turn it up to about a 5.5, and this is what I'm going to run my machine on. Right like this. So these are the couple things that you could check before starting your tattoo to make sure everything is set up correctly for tattooing. The other things that we're going to touch base on when we dive deep into, being able to take apart and put together a tattoo machine would be these numbers right here, your duty. 55% is kind of what you want to look for when it comes to a liner. So that's working out great. Our hertz, everything. Those are all things that we'll break down and go into on another video. But as a starting point, these are the things to look out for. These are the things to check every single tattoo that you do, because if you are using a cheaper machine, things will loosen up and move around on you, and you don't want that whenever you are tattooing. Question I have for you guys is, what are some questions you have for me whenever it comes to coil style tattoo machines? I know they are kind of a dying breed. Don't hate me for saying that, but most artists are using rotary styles now. But what would you like me to talk about in the in-depth video of me breaking down, how to tear apart a machine, put it back together, change coils? What are you looking for? All the people still using coils out there. And also, what kind of brands are you using nowadays? When I was first starting out, Time machines were really good. Iron Workhorse was really good. What are some stuff you're using? But other than that, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe down below to keep up to date on all the new stuff I come out with tattoo related each week. And as always, you guys have a wonderful day.